So now that we've covered the meta stuff, we move into the more important stuff for the character and notes for that. So first thing you want to know is the character information. The character is the role you are taking as the writer. And I'm going to use the Twitter terms because a lot of people on Twitter seem to have that mentality. This is the role you are taking to play. As the player, you're deciding on this role. It's like making a decision to play what type of game because you want to play that type of character. You follow? Great. IC means in character. Any actions or said statements from that account while it is in character is in character. It means it comes from the character, not from the writer, not from the player. It comes from the character. If Frieza says, "You're gonna die, monkey scum," and he's talking to Goku, then it means Frieza to Goku. It doesn't mean the writer of Frieza is talking to the writer of Goku. It doesn't mean the player of Frieza is trying to insult Goku or the player of Goku. It's Frieza, the character, insulting Goku, the character. Got it? That's in character. Out of character. Typically, there's a small difference between out of character and real life. Let me explain this one a little bit. Real life is if you have an appointment or something and you go on your writer account and you say, "Hey, I got stuff to do, I'm not going to be on today." You can also hop onto your roleplay character and say, "Out of character, I have stuff going on today," which is fine. Typically, out of character things are things that you need to portray to your current partner or the people you're talking to so they understand something that's metagame knowledge. My character is actually 6'9" as opposed to 5'2", because this form is a lot bigger and Broly like. And people go, "Oh, okay, I got it." So something that the character would notice, but if you sat there and described it, it would confuse them in character. You follow? OC is just little stuff that you can bring up to help ease your storyline and timeline along. That's all it is. That being said, now that we covered OOC, real life, and IC, we go over to OC. It's not the same as OOC. No. OC is different than OOC. OC is original character. Original character is different than canon character. Let me describe that real quick. A canon character is something that's like a household product, a household name. If you say the name, people know exactly what you're talking about. If you go to Japan, you say something like Cutie Honey, they know. You go anywhere in the United States, you say Sailor Moon, people know. Goku, people know. Batman, got it. Superman, yep. Wonder Woman, okay. You follow what I'm saying? That's canon. Something that you can say and people go, recognize it, I know what you're talking about. I know the common thing that you're talking about right here. Does this mean they know all the different versions of them? No. But they know the generalized version, the common version of that character. They get that. They got you. They're on the same page. That's a canon character. AU is an alternate universe. As I stated before, back when I said multiverse. And AU is just a different spin-off on the timeline. So instead of your character being, "I'm Goku and I'm the Saiyan from Earth." No, you never hit your head as Goku. So you're Goku, the Saiyan of Earth, because you destroyed Earth. You follow what I'm saying? As an AU character, you make sure you point out something that's where the difference is. This way people go, "Oh, okay, I gotcha." Like if you want to roleplay, say, Bulma. But Vegeta died and never came back. Well, technically, she's not going to have Trunks, and that's an AU. For her, that is an AU. Never married Vegeta. Okay, that's an AU take. It's still the same canon character, but the events that would normally transpire have been cut short because of the alternate take. Ergo, AU. Thus, an AU character is not a bad thing. I don't know why some of y'all treat it that way. But an OC is an original character, where if you're in, say, the Dragon Ball universe and there's Bulma, Goku, whatever, blah, 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 Beerus would be considered more of a OC at the time before he became canon. Like the original concept for Beerus would be the OC concept, where people sit there and go, "Could we really do that?" Most of the big villains in movies happen to be OC concepts until they get made into the movie. It's something that doesn't exist within that universe yet because there's no lore to back it up. So in many cases, if you make an OC, that means there's a loreless character that you have to make lore for. Okay? That's all it comes out to. An OC character is an original character or an original concept where you have to do the work to make lore for that character. That's it. Canon characters are your straightforward, your household name products. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the X-Men, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman, Spider-Man, Deadpool. Things you can say like this and people know. Like, canon character. An OC would be someone that you have to make the lore for, that you have to write the lore about. Okay? That's the best way to remember it. OC, something that doesn't quite exist in that fandom or that universe, and you have to make the lore. That is OC. Now there is a second definition of OC that people have been trying to use, and I call it bullshit on it. A lot of people call BS. The second definition of OC is taking a canon character. Let's taking a canon character like Naruto, and we're just going to plop him into the Marvel universe. Now a lot of you are already thinking the same thing I initially said. That's not OC. That is an AU or a crossover event. That is a multi-fandom character. You have now crossed them over. They are doing a crossover event. That's it. A lot of them will say no, it's a OC. That's their definition. Taking a canon character and putting them into a different universe and attempting to change their history to where the same skills, powers, events happen to them. I'm actually conflicted on that one because I can see what they're trying to do, but at the same time it only comes back to being a crossover. That's all it turns out to be. Well, my character's not named Naruto. He's named Takahashi Shin Oroko, and he's just so happens to be a ninja. His backstory is things happened and his parents died when he was very young, and yeah, he just happened to develop the same exact skills as Naruto and happens to look just like Naruto, but he's not Naruto. He's Takahashi, man. He's Takahashi. That's how OC2 comes up. And you sit there for a minute going, just say crossover. Just say you're multi-fandom and you're fine, dude. You'll be okay. Just multi-fandom, that's fine. AU, that's fine. That's fine. AU isn't a cuss word. It really isn't. But that being said, what if you wanted to play Naruto, but you didn't want to play Naruto after, like, say 2 weeks, and you don't want to make a whole new account to make a new character? You just want to drop Naruto. You're tired of role playing as Naruto. And you're like, oh, I want to play Luffy. Crap. Well, what do? You flip the character. When you flip the character, that means you get rid of your pin tweet. The pin tweet is, for those of you who don't know, the thing that when they check out your account, when they go to check out your account, the pin tweet is always the top thing that's right there. Most role players have a pin tweet that gives you basic information or access to basic information of their character. You might want to read. That's his own thing. We'll go over that when we do the role play common sense commandments. But you might want to read. But a pin tweet is just that. The pin tweet is made for the sole fact of giving you the information on the character. Okay? So when you flip a character, you got to get rid of your old pin tweet and make a new one. You got to change your username or the @ whatever. You got to change the primary name, which is the name in front that everyone sees by default. Change your Abby, change your header. You get the idea. You got to do a lot of changing. Flipping is changing one character to another character on the same account. That's it. Using the same account, you're just going to switch it over to a different character. Instead of Naruto, you want to play Leonardo. Something like that. You follow what I'm getting? You got it, right? Okay. I'm pretty sure y'all got it. Revamp, which will probably be our last real definition, really. Revamp is just covering the basics. Revamp is, hey, I changed this character up, or I've updated the character, and here's the new information. You always want to put revamp, especially when you flip, so people don't get confused. This is a big thing. People will change their character and won't even say what they used to be. Put what you used to be, what your old username was. That's all you gotta do. Your old username, just put that in there. Used to be Naruto Ninetail. At Naruto Ninetail, that's what I used to be. But now, I'm Blue Bandana Turtle. Revamp. Just let them know that you've revamped. This way, when someone sees a character that they normally wouldn't add, and they check, they don't sit there and go, who's this guy? And drop you immediately. If they pop on, they go, when did I start following a Ninja Turtle? And they click it and they go, oh, he used to be Naruto. Okay, he used to be Naruto, he just flipped, okay, I got it. That information of revamp helps out a lot of people. Trust me on that. And of course, there are other things that you need to worry about. Now that you have your character set up and you have everything else prime and ready to go and you feel good, the timeline is the public space. Pretty straightforward. You put it on timeline, it's out in public. Just saying. So don't be upset if you put something on your timeline and then someone likes it, retweets it, or reply retweet, which is another thing we're going over in just a minute. But don't get mad at people when that happens, because you put it out in public. If you didn't want them to respond in such a way, you don't want people to see it, then you go to a DM or you lock your account. Locking your account negates the ability for outside people to see you, and it also negates the I just said it. It also negates the retweets. They cannot retweet your stuff, which, fine and dandy. But of course, this also means watch what you say. Kind of self-explanatory, right? DM allows you to write as much as you want. It's out of sight. And people aren't going to sit there and go, oh, I like that. They ain't going to see it. The DM. Direct message or PM, private message. Straightforward, right? Now, if you are doing roleplay on the timeline, the TL, if you are doing it out in public, thread yo stuff. A lot of people just like quote retweet, quote retweet, quote retweet. Okay, let me tell you something. Quote retweet is pretty much when you retweet and then put a comment on top. Okay? That's quote retweet. That's how most phones pick it up. Do you want to retweet or quote retweet? Which means, yeah, you're retweeting it, but you're saying something about it on top. You do that for trying to do other things. Like if they're doing a storyline and they have it threaded, blah, 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 but you see something that your character would respond to, you quote retweet that. You don't respond there, you quote retweet. Reason being is because if you respond straightforward, you throw them off, you throw off their partner, and people get real butthurt real fast about it. So what you want to do, just quote retweet, boom, done. Now that we've covered quote retweet, let's go over the last little bit, and then we will let you go for the day. I know this is 2 videos, I split it up, I apologize. But let's go ahead and cut into this real quick. There are triggers. Sometimes the writer has issues. It happens. The problem is they don't read. Issue 2 pops up a lot. So if they decide to follow you and you happen to be Freddy Krueger. You're role-playing Freddy Krueger, they follow you, and then of course your person guts somebody. Just done. And then they're like, ah, you hit my triggers! If you have it in your pinned tweet or you have it somewhere in your bio, you're covered. It's their fault for not reading, not yours. You follow? So I keep asking, do you follow, like you're going to actually be able to answer. I'm going to have to fix that. I will work on that to be more precise. Point stands. Chances are other people are not going to read the pinned tweet. They'll go, oh, I just like to follow Freddy Krueger. Then Freddy got somebody, and then they freak out. Ah, it's a trigger! Read who you follow. I can't point that out enough. But because these triggers are a thing, I'm not saying it is your responsibility as a player to have everything written out and be defensive. No. It's their job to read as well. If they can't look through a couple things and realize, oh, this person uses a lot of bad language, that's on them. If you have everything written down, however, you're just better defended. Because if they throw a fit, you can just be like, did you read my pinned tweet? Well, no. Then shut up. My account, my rules. And the very last thing is the one that comes up a lot, surprisingly, and it's literate and lewd. 2 different things. Lewd is pretty much porn. Softcore, hardcore, it's just porn. Just whenever you see lewd, just think about it like that. It's hentai, it's porn, it's from softcore to hardcore, that's lewd. Anything that's sexually suggestive, things of that nature, that's lewd. Alright, we're done there. Whew, easy. Literate, yes, it does mean to be able to read and write. That's the first definition, straightforward, bar none. here's the thing. Literate also has a second definition according to dictionaries. Merriam-Webster, Oxford, etc. And the second definition is pretty much you are knowledgeable of a topic. If you're role-playing Batman and you've been a Batman follower since the dawn of time, and you understand that there's different timelines, and you know exactly what's in his belt, and you get what his Kevlar is like, and yada yada, and blah blah blah, and you know the specs of the Batwing, but you're highly literate of the Batman verse, at least for the character of Batman. Okay? There is a difference between being literate and not being literate. If a person says they're new to the character and new to the fandom, they are not going to be very literate of the character. They're going to be a little bumpy. So work with it. Right? And this is a very big thing because a lot of people love doing this following combination. I'm literate, but I'm new to character. I'm new to the verse. I'm new to the fandom. But I'm literate. You're new to the fandom, huh? And you're literate. Explain how. Explain how. Explain how. Explain how. Explain how. Explain how. And I'm not meaning that sarcastically. It's you need to explain how you are literate in that case. Because you're new to the fandom, that means you just joined the fandom. You just found out about the show or this movie and you're like, oh, that's awesome. And you want to get in on it. And you want to roleplay it. But you don't know what's going on in it. You see where the problem comes in? So if you're going to say new to the fandom, new to the character, new to the... If you're going to say new to, don't put literate. There's no point. Because you don't understand how the universe works. You don't know how the thing is going in the storyline. You don't know what the canon actually is. Take a step back and accept it and be like, okay, for now, I'm just new to the character. I'm new to the fandom. Go to work with it. That's all. But if you say you're literate, you can be new to a character and still be literate. Because you know the fandom. That's pretty much knowing the canon itself. You're just new to role-playing that character. For example, I can sit here and be like, I'm literate in the Gothamverse. I'm literate. Okay, I decide one day to play Cyborg. I'm literate, but I'm a new Cyborg. That means I understand some things. It's just I don't know all the intricacies that someone else might know. Literate just means you understand it and you have some knowledge of that lore. Alright? Good. Now I think that's everything. Yep. And yep. Okay. Well, I'm sorry that it's two different videos. Part 1, Part 2. I'm just trying to make it to be a little more conventional for you guys instead of having you sit here for a straight 30 minutes going, dude, anytime you want to be done. I'm looking out for y'all. Try to be nice. I'm trying to keep things broken up, to keep it small and under 15 minutes each because I'm trying to be nice. And even then, it might not be under 15 minutes each. But that's my goal. Every video is trying to be under 20 minutes as long as it's just discussion. So, I'm Double R. I'm going to head out. Y'all have a good time. Role play. Game on. Have fun. And, bye. I don't have an outro.